Is Netflix's high-rise invasion live up to the high expectations they have? Find out next. Welcome all you misfits and metalheads to the cutting room floor. We are from the band Cut Like This. I am Thorn Black.
I'm Rose Blood.
And we have music right here on YouTube and Spotify. Please check us out. Buy some music, like, and subscribe. You know the deal.
You know what's up.
So today, we are reviewing the Netflix original High Rise Invasion. This is a pretty interesting anime. What do you think about this one, Rose?
All right. Well, this goes back to our usual love of isekai death games. Mm-hmm. And this is one where it centers around a girl named Yuri Honjo, who is transported. She's just like a teenage schoolgirl, of course. And she ends up in this weird series of buildings with bridges going across. And this is the high-rise part.
There's just a bunch of high-rises.
There are a bunch of high-rises, and there's nothing else. And there's just these long bridges connecting each of them to each other. And basically, there are these crazed people with superpowers in masks that you basically either have to escape from them or you have to kill them in battle. You don't really have any other choice.
Yeah,
you know?
These guys are messed up. Once they put the mask on, it kind of brainwashes them, and then they're just not in control anymore, and they're all murderous. Almost every single one of them is murderous, and
unfortunately, these were all innocent people that also got sucked in. Mm-hmm. But doesn't matter now. Don't matter now. Once you got this mask on, you're not yourself anymore.
So our main character is just tossed into this world like, what's happening, what's going on, and why are people wearing masks trying to kill me, right? Yeah. It's pretty crazy. I think they call the people wearing the masks angels, and sometimes, depending on the angel, they may try to protect one of the people, but that's not a guarantee. It's only certain people and
God candidates.
Yes. So this world has like a lot of weird stuff, weird rules, and you're finding them out as you go along, just like our main character is. And
she encounters other people in there, so the people, obviously the masked people are no bueno. But then she also encounters other people that are still people, that you can talk to. Mm-hmm. But not everybody is really in a nice mood. You know what I mean?
A lot of those people are trying to kill you too.
Yeah, a lot of those people will try to kill you also. They're like, whatever, what does life matter anymore? You know what I mean? What do rules matter anymore? And they've lost their sense of humanity from being trapped there,
So the objective that they find out is to be the new god of the realm. And it seems like there's certain things that can be done that change your status according to the angel's vision of you, which may work in your favor. So you're like a regular person and they just try to murder you because that's what they do. Mm-hmm. Or you're one that they call closer to God. Like you are one that's closer to God, and then they might actually protect you possibly.
Unless another God candidate decides that they want you to die. And if they're controlling that mask, then,
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see there's different angels have different levels of lucidity. Mm-hmm. Some of them are just mindless killers, and some of them actually can think for themselves. And depending on who's controlling them, they can do good things or they can do bad things. They're all basically pawns. One of the biggest masks that you see in the story is Sniper Mask, who at first is an enemy, but then seemingly is, starts to...
He becomes some of himself.
Yeah, he starts to regain a little bit of his humanity. So it's really interesting to see, and as well, Yuri Honjo's brother, Rika, also got sucked into the world because she manages to call him on her phone, and then they realize that they're both in there. So he's like, you got to be careful. It's really dangerous. If you see anybody, just run away. It doesn't, don't try to talk to them. it doesn't matter. Like, you're better off not talking to anybody because people are dangerous in this world.
I like how those two start trying to plan
Yeah.
how to survive and how to try to meet up and how to, they're actively trying to figure out as much of this world as they can. They're smart about it. They're not just like, just run and hide. They're really piecing a lot of this stuff together. And
it's cool to see all the different characters and their different traits. Yuri is definitely, she has like this like kind of leadership quality. She's very loyal and she's very kind-hearted. But when shit starts to go down, she actually has an inner strength that becomes more and more apparent as the story goes on.
I thought they did a good job showing how so you're tossed into a situation, you don't really know what's happening, and in some shows or animes, it takes what seems like forever for that person to really get the fire in them to fight back to try to stay alive.
Yeah.
Like the Tokyo Ghoul.
Yeah. There are certain stories where they take forever.
They take way too long.
This one, because it's immediate.
She doesn't take all that long.
Nope.
She starts piecing this together. And then when her vicious side comes out, this chick starts letting them have it. Can I tell you?
Yeah.
I love
it. Was
that.
Good. It was good.
Yeah,
and there's another character that she encounters, another girl. Her name is Mayuko. And she's been in there for longer than Yuri has. And Mayuko's kind of a freaking vicious badass. She's so cool. She's a knife wielding maniac, And at first she's kind of antagonistic towards Yuri, but basically, they end up somehow becoming friends, because Yuri actually risks her life to protect her instead of kill her, and she realizes that Yuri is very different from the other people that she's encountered in there, and that she should just give her a chance and hear her out, and maybe they can actually help each other, instead of just being at odds. But at first she's very antagonistic. She's like, I don't care, like, whatever, you're just another piece to get out of my way. So because there's a helicopter that comes to this place, and supposedly if you can get into the helicopter you can finally escape, but the helicopter only has room for one person. So that is also the motivating factor for so many of these people being at odds with each other, even if they're not masked killers. The regular people that are there don't necessarily want to cozy up to other people.
Yeah, and you don't know when or where this chopper is going to land.
Yeah.
It's a mess.
It's a mess.
It's a mess.
It's a mess.
It's a lot.
And there's a lot of they use the environment that it is, the unusual, bridge across like crazy high rises and stuff, really well to the advantage to really rack up the tension in some of these fights and chases with these people. And these masked guys have some crazy powers,
and
too.
can I tell you, these masked guys, like the order that they got is not to straight up murder these people. It's to get them to a point where they're so hurt and miserable that they will kill themselves and toss themselves off the roof of the high rise.
So basically,
that's the real goal.
Basically, they're scaring them to death.
What? You hurt them so bad that the good choice is to jump off the high rise. Like, wow, all of you, that's all of your main missions? It's a bad place to be.
It's not great.
It's a bad place to be.
It's not great.
So, Rose, what are you thinking you're going to give this?
I am going to give this a 4. I loved it. I really enjoyed it. I had a great time watching it. I'm eager to find out if they can escape. I want another season of this, We don't get to really know. We do learn so much more about that world as the story goes on and the antagonists within it. But I want more, and I need to know what happens to Yuri. You become very invested in the characters by the end of it. Rika, just like his sister, is a fearless leader type. You know what I mean? And he's just doing everything that he can to get to her. But they're in different buildings, and it's really hard because anytime you come out, these mass killers are going to start hunting you down. Like, they're just roaming around everywhere, and each one is more brutal and powerful than the last one. So it's pretty epic. I really enjoyed it.
I am also going to give this a 4. I found it to be very interesting. It's just another out of hand anime story that you can't really predict because you don't even know what all the rules and stipulations are in this world. You're finding them out kind of as she's finding them out.
Yeah, unlike some other ones where you kind of like you kind of learn all the stuff in the beginning from the beginning of the death game. Like, okay, here's the rules of the death game. Blah,
yeah,
blah, blah,
the
blah,
rules
blah.
of this one are not just laid out.
They
for you.
are
There's
not.
so many layers, and then
every mystery that you open up is another. There's another mystery underneath that one.
And there is a little bit of fan service in here. I can't say I was that upset because I mean, whatever. But just so you know, there's definitely a little bit of fan service.
Don't watch this with the kids around, okay?
There might be a moment where you're like, hide couple little Johnny's eyes.
Yeah,
like, there you go.
Don't look at that. Don't look at
that. But nothing too bad. And again, the main character, once she really starts going, she gives it to these people, and I enjoyed that very much.
Yeah, and my favorite character, Mayuko, is totally nuts when she freaking pulls the knives out. Her ruthlessness is a joy to see.
I had a lot of questions. They do answer a lot of questions, but then they do bring up a bunch more. And it's just nice because you never have the complete, full, clear picture, but not in a bad way. It just makes you want more. And I do hope this gets another season because I'm really interested what happens to all these characters. And like you said, do they manage to escape or not? Only one way to find out. Give it a watch. Let us know what you think. If you have seen it or if you are going to watch it, come back. Let us know what you thought about it. I think that was a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Definitely worth a watch. About 12 episodes, so, it won't take forever to get through it,
Yep.
Once again, we are the band Cut Like This. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check our music out. And we will be back very soon. That's all for us today. We are out.